Hello everyone, welcome to the Common Sense Podcast. I'm just going to shit the camera on. Oh, you think it's a kitty, oh well. Oh, there you go, you get to see a kitty, yeah, look at it, like kitty. Yeah, kitty.
Two kitties.
The chunkus of a kitty.
The chunkus. No, you don't want to. He's just about to bite me.
Some kitties.
Go on then.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Common Sense Podcast. My name is Ebac, and of course joining me here, as per normal, we have Burr, Lemming and Shadow for another episode of the Common Sense Podcast. We've been here for, and Tucker as well. And of course we had Nim just very briefly. Welcome to the show. For anyone who's new, because we've not really done an episode since Christmas.
This is our first episode of 2025.
Indeed. So I gather my friends on the last Tuesday of most often every month. That can change every now and then. And we talk densely upon whatever subjects we feel deserves to be talked about, whether that be in, most often about gaming, culture in terms of that, and the news and general things, what's going on in our life and what we've been playing and so on and so forth. There's the cat just wanting to peer over, like, what the hell's going on there now? Hello everyone. How has everyone been, by the way?
Hello.
I've been all right. I've been.
Yeah.
Shadow's been relocated to a destination she cannot disclose, but because,
Yes.
well, one, for obvious reasons, and two, because you're having things done at your place, aren't you?
Yes, I'm having some renovation work going on, but which is taking a little bit longer because they damaged the worktops.
Ouch.
And my guy rang me up, like he said, ring me when you've got a moment, and I rang him, and he said, I'm so sorry, I couldn't get it any earlier than Monday, and I was like, that's fine, these things happen, you know.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
know the
happens.
guy, and he would have done anything to like try and get it sooner. So it'd be what it.
It be what it be. The reason you're not seeing my face is because my hair looks awful. So and also I'm not feeling too tip top. So here I am. Yes, I know, Lemming. I don't say it.
Be thankful you have hair, damn you.
I don't say it to be mean.
I'm glad I washed my hair today, then, because I look fabulous.
I washed my hair that I have on,
Oh,
on
stop
the bottom of my face.
I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow. It's gonna be fun.
Another kitty and maybe
Oh, yeah.
the moment
We'll
I'll
get
have
through it
two
scot
kitties.
free. You usually do.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I've been building things. I'm still going to show this off. It's amazing.
the ornithopter, nice.
Look, chat. We haven't talked to you in like forever. This.
Yes.
Yeah, I have now two kitties.
Oh,
Yes.
bones.
Now,
See,
Bones.
hey, Bones.
I am hoping I'll get through Scott 3, because for anyone who doesn't know, I'm 33 years old, and I'm going to have none work, not a single piece of work done on my teeth at all. No fillings,
You're
no
so
nothing.
lucky.
I'm lucky.
Lucky
the thing
for
is-
some.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's one of the things that eventually you get to a point where at some point it's going to happen, and it's more a case of when, not if. So
Yeah.
that's...
Yeah, but
My bad teeth stuff hit when I was about 35, and I had to have one of my back teeth pulled completely. It wasn't fun.
I've
No, I've had
I've-
bad teeth since I was
yeah.
young.
I've had bad teeth since I was maybe 6, maybe 7.
Yeah, so
Cool.
my best advice is if you feel you're having any problem in the teeth area, get it looked at immediately.
Yes.
Don't do what I do, which is be terrified of dentists and leave it for as long as possible until it starts to really hurt. Don't do that.
Yeah, I
That's
mean...
the thing.
Yeah.
I mean-
Yeah, toothache is not pleasant. Like I remember when I got mine, I texted my mum saying like, "Does it go away?" And she was like, "No,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
does not."
the problem's gone. The other problem's been capped. Everything's fine. I still have to take ibuprofen every now and then because it stings a bit.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
it's just that's going to be there for the rest of my life.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that because I've got no pain in my teeth, and I do
Chip
brush
them.
them. I do brush them every single day,
Yeah.
twice a day actually. And I'm someone who's very kind of diligent in their thing. Like I have an electric toothbrush, and I always put it on deep clean mode. So I always do 3 minutes of my teeth every morning and evening. So I always worry about it. So yeah.
Oh
Eh.
yeah, that's understandable. But
Plus-
no, I think If you ever
Plus-
needed like work done, it would just be a filling for you,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Plus, they did tell me to go to the hygienist, and I didn't end up going because, unfortunately, it clashed with when I was recovering from operation.
I
So,
mean, that
there's
makes sense.
I mean, the hygienist is mostly just like polishing and making sure everything's fine.
I mean, not
Yeah.
really polishing, but they would remove the plaque and the tartar from the teeth because it's even with the best toothbrushing techniques, they still build up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the scale and polish
I
they
use
offer.
bacteria.
Yeah, I'll probably
I
be
think
told
that
to go and
is-
get that, which I'm like, oh, that's fine. I don't mind doing that. But yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
fine.
dental stuff aside,
I was about to ask more questions. Nah, don't worry about
it's been a time. What have we been playing between Christmas and now, mostly?
Well, first I'm going to say this is why we call the Common Dense podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games.
We can't use that. Another podcast used that. I know it's
No,
the
it's
fun.
not functional anymore. It's ours now.
Oh
They
Jesus!
used to say that, and
They
they've
used
never
to say that. They
registered.
don't anymore.
It's not a trademark.
I know it's not a trademark.
Comment intensely about lots of things.
There you go.
No,
I'm
if you
happy.
don't feel comfortable, we can say we sporadically talk about video games.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Comment intensely upon video games and lots of other subjects. Anyway, I'm derailing.
Burr, what have you been playing?
Oh, what have I not been playing? I've been playing a game of Shadow and Gambit.
I wish.
Nah,
Oh, I know what you mean.
unfortunately-
I know what you're talking about. Shadow Gambit, the crew, well, I played
Curse
a game.
Crew, yes.
Curse Crew, yes.
indeed. Unfortunately, it's not about Shadow and Gambit,
No.
but Shadow's eyes were perking up each time she saw a disco that I was playing Shadow Gambit.
I remember that being the case.
Yeah, you have now played Desperados 3 a bit,
I have.
and you enjoy that game, don't you?
I do. I did.
So-
I very much enjoyed Desperados 3, and people can see the trailer
Shadow
now.
Gambit is even more fun. First of all, in my opinion, it has much more interesting characters. It has much more interesting story. The story is even kind of like many people are upset with games that introduce Dark Souls elements that they do not explain the mechanics in the story. So Shadow Gambit explains the mechanics in the story, which is really cool. And instead of having a story that you progress, like you have in Desperados, you have chapters in which you go through a story. You have a hub, and you go for all kinds of piratey adventures from that hub, which is your pirate ship on which you can talk to the crew. You can do all kinds of funny things. So it was really awesome game.
Nice.
Yeah, I hope Mimi makes. No, unfortunately, I think they have this.
They've shut down now. I think.
They
Yeah.
shut down, which is really sad because I would love some more games from them. Because Shadow Gambit was great. I have also been playing Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Because I got the Steam Deck on Christmas from my brother.
Nice.
And it's a perfect Metroidvania machine. It was
Really?
so fun. It was so much fun to play The Lost Crown. It was really great to control the character. The progression was fun. The battles were fun. The levels were amazingly designed. I loved this game. It's really a shame that only much too late Ubisoft decided to put this game on Steam and decided to maybe market it a bit, at least a bit.
It died on its marketing.
Marketing on a Ubisoft game, that'll be a.
Yeah, right. Nope. But as I've played Dark Forces Remastered. Oh, that was a journey. That was a fun game, but Dark Forces is really a product of its age.
Yeah.
A lot of people before the remastered came out, they played it on all kinds of like Source Engine or other mods, and it's fun because you have save states in all those additional like modded engines. The original Dark Forces and the Dark Forces Remastered doesn't have that. You have lives, when you run out of lives, you have to repeat the whole level from the beginning, which absolutely sucks, especially when the level is long and like takes you half an hour to go through the level. You die by the end, and you have to start it again, and it absolutely sucks. I hated that. But also, I've noticed that the developers of Dark Forces have taken a lot of ideas from Mr. John Romero when he designed Doom. Uh, we have to thank Shadow for the word that is used for enemies that are just sitting and scheming inside small contained spaces just to
Monster
jump out
closets.
at you in small closet. They are Romeroing. And there's a lot of Romeroing going on. Yes, there's a lot of Romeroing going on in Dark Forces.
Yeah, that's the thing
He's
about
great.
Dark Forces is a great game. The problem is it definitely is a product of its time, as you say, and it's one of those typical things where the level isn't designed in what I would call is a logical or functional way, which is pretty much a product like a bit like games today. Games today, they're made to be like they are not just levels; they are places that are inhabited. They have logic to their design. Whereas some of the older games, even the Star Wars ones, which did have all right layouts, do sometimes feel a little bit like there's no logic to its layout, and it is built like this way to be a level.
Yeah, well, I do think that with the advent of Doom and stuff like that, I think a lot of people had to kind of learn level design, especially in like a 2.5. Well, in a 2.5 environment, they had to learn how to flow a player through that, because you can see with some Doom levels that we played last year, like close to Christmas time, like some have like really easy, like you get guided like through it quite well, and then other times it's very much like a puzzle, like you have to go back, and then other times you can get stuck in like a room forever. You're like, where the fuck am I supposed to go, kind of thing. There was one map in the second episode that I got completely lost. I had to look up. I had to go and look at a guide. I was like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? Kind of thing. Because, like, I definitely respect Joe Romero and Sandy Peterson's, like, ability to level design. And there are other level designers as well. They're just the two that I can take off the top of my head. There's just some level designs where it is puzzle based, so you have to find the key in order to move forward, kind of thing. But there are just some levels where it's just like, okay, I've explored all I can and I just keep going round in circles. Where am I supposed to go? What have I done wrong, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and that always frustrates me.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of that in Dark Forces as well. But especially frustrating for me was the fact that a lot of things are not clear enough for someone who's playing this game for the first time. Two examples that I remember the best is there were force field doors where whether the force field in which the force field was going on and off occasionally, but the fact that it was on and off was shown by the frame of the door blinking or not. It was either constantly glowing green when the force field was on, or it was blinking when it was off. So that was like really frustrating. It took me very long time to realize that. And the other thing is, it took me also a very long time to realize that I have to open a separate like menu to see what kind of items I have, what are the objectives. It didn't show me on the map where I had to go, but at least it told me like go find this guy or go kill this person or go find the Moldy Crow. And also something that you know when you've looked into the manual, but not necessarily when you've just started the game.
Yeah, I will say it's one of the things where sometimes it doesn't quite work. Sometimes it does. I'm going to say that's because Star Wars' architecture and its design is also a bit, nonsensical. Like whenever I see walkways in Dark Forces over stuff, and there's no rails. Absolutely, like, yep, nailed it, nailed Star Wars. You see?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's one more thing. Somehow, the developer of the engine for Dark Forces found out how to, in a 2.5 dimensional engine, how to do room over room. And there are levels where they're just flaunting it. They're just shoving it into John Romero's face, like, look, we can do it, and you can't.
Yeah, like, but in fairness, wouldn't you? I certainly fucking
Yeah.
would.
I mean,
Because
absolutely.
it took them until Quake in order to stack things on
Yeah.
top of each other.
Especially
Yeah,
yeah.
if I had managed to break physics, I'd be on Neil deGrasse Tyson so hard.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing is, and that also is a good show of, you know, the kind of people they had over at LucasArts making this shit.
Yeah.
They had people who were industry leaders over making these games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all the companies that Lucas spawns, they were like pushing the boundaries of what we can do. The THX, the Industrial Light and Magic, Lucas Games.
All of that
They were all
created
making
the
amazing things.
modern multimedia franchise we know today. I mean, ILM was the first visual effects company, you know, so
Yeah.
it's what
Yeah.
started the
Yeah.
whole idea of visual effects in movies, really. So yeah, it's I mean, this is a discussion about Star Wars and its impact upon film history, but it's a topic I do know a little bit about. But yeah, it just goes to show that, you know, yeah, you've been playing Dark Forces 2. Anything else? Dark Forces 1, sorry. And anything else?
Yeah.
I will just say, wasn't it a Star Wars game that also broke a patent that either Sega or Sony was trying to pull down about third-person cameras?
Can't recall. I think maybe.
Because one of them was like, oh yeah, I want to patent the 3D camera outside of like a racing game, and they almost got it, but then some pointed out that it was a Star Wars game that was like, hey, no, there's a patent for, like, you can't do that because that was done in a Star Wars game, I think.
There is precedent.
Yeah.
That
So
if it was that early, that probably would have been not Dark Forces, but it might have been
it was what,
Shadows of the Empire.
I think it was a TIE Fighter game. I
Oh,
think
could be.
it was.
Okay.
I cannot remember. I am policing
You
disparate
could
parts.
have an outside camera in a TIE Fighter, so why not?
Yeah,
could
so
have
I
been
think it might have been that game.
Yeah.
That,
Because I remember I could have turned off, like I could switch the camera to like look from the side, from the other side, from the back, and from the outside I could look at the silhouette of the TIE Fighter branch. It was very hard to control, so I almost never used it. But I do remember it was a thing. 1995.
yeah, so they also they also stopped somebody from patenting the third person camera.
Good.
Gaming company shouldn't be patenting mechanics.
Yes.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not going to do anything with it, Warner Brothers.
Yes. Yeah, especially Warner Brothers wants to patent things so that they don't do anything about it and no one else does.
That is so annoying to me. I miss the age of innovation.
Yeah.
But anyway,
You and me both.
anything else?
There's one last game that I was playing, and I now realize when I was looking at my stats that I've been playing it only throughout February, and it still took me 90 hours to play. So I was absolutely obsessed with this game, just like with its predecessor, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I absolutely love this game. The remakes of the Final Fantasy, they're amazingly made. In this case, also the game is not as padded as the previous one was, so it's even better than that. It looks great. It is funny. It has an amazing story. It has a lot of subversion of expectations because it plays with the ideas, and it plays a bit with the story of the original, so that the people who have played the original for 10 or 12 times already have something interesting and new and unexpected to see. So probably everyone knows about the big moment, the big spoilery moment, the big twist that happened in Final Fantasy VII, because that was one of the first things in gaming that showed, oh, those are actually things for like all kinds of mature audiences as well. But so probably everyone knows about the fact that one of the main characters, Aerith, dies 2/3 through the game, killed by Sephiroth, who is such a popular boss that like every other person on the internet has like XX Sephiroth 69XX as the name, as a handle. But yeah,
Every teenage edgelord in history.
Yes, but even with that so very well known thing, there is a very interesting subversion of expectations. And to the last moment, I was like, "Hold on, what is going to happen? What is gonna go on now?"
I mean,
And I still was surprised.
To be fair, that's kind of good. I mean, a remake is all well and good, but a reimagining is also more interesting because you can play with expectations and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I really love the idea of reimagining things.
So I'm looking. That's why I've yet to get around to, but interested in playing Resident Evil 4 remake. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what you've been playing. Ian. Is that Burr? Is that everything?
So that's all I've been playing. Yeah.
Lemon, what about yourself?
Believe it or not all that much out of the ordinary for me. Also drifting in the chat. Hi, Drifting.
Hello, Drifting.
I've been playing, appropriately enough, a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 with Drifting. We finally finished our co-op playthrough 2 weeks ago. That was something. Oh my god. The ending of Baldur's Gate 3. Woof. Not going to say it here, but that's quite something. But beyond that, not a lot. I tried the Dune Awakening character creator today. There's a lot to it. The bench test went well. I'm looking forward to the full game, see what it actually is. But beyond that, not a lot really out in my own time, aside from my ongoing Tarkov addiction. Not a lot. I played Portal again. Yeah, the original, just because it's there. I'll be playing Portal 2 co-op with Drifting tomorrow. Remember, put that in your diaries, everyone. Well, beyond that, Ace Combat 7 on Switch on my lunch breaks at work. Is it just me, or is that game harder on Switch?
I mean, every game is harder on Switch.
I mean, yeah.
Is the control
Not wrong. I've been playing the DLC. Like, there's 3 DLC missions in Ace Combat 7. And I've been playing them on my lunch breaks. And I keep dying. It's like, I'm on normal difficulty, guys. I've played this game on PC for over 100 hours. These levels should not be kicking my ass on normal difficulty.
That poor processor is doing the best it can.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we played Vampire Therapist last week.
Yeah, Drifting ratted you out.
Fair enough.
I mean, technically, she played it. I voiced some of the characters.
Yeah. But, I mean, the game starts with the fact that you are playing a cowboy vampire. It already shows you how incredibly interesting that game is.
Oh, yeah. You play a cowboy vampire that's about 200 years old. You go to Germany to meet a much, much older, about like a couple of thousand years old, vampire at his nightclub. You run into a couple of people who you think they must be vampires too. No, they're just goths.
Love that.
Yeah, and he teaches you the finer points of how to help other vampires with any lingering mental health issues they have.
I really love the idea that the people who look the most like vampires are not vampires.
Yeah, they were just a pair of people wanting to get into the club and were okay with having their blood sucked for a bit.
As you do.
It's great.
If I remember goths in high school, yeah.
I prefer my blood to stay inside my body, but that's just me.
That's
where
The blood is supposed to be inside of your body, but I might note that the body is the blood is supposed to be inside the body, but it is also supposed to be inside the blood vessels. If it is
because
outside the blood vessels but inside the cavities of your body, you might need to see a doctor post
You,
haste.
Yeah,
you know
'cause
what I mean.
you might want to see Franz Kafka because you might have suddenly turned into a giant beetle.
I mean, to be fair,
I think
As
they
human
have the
beings-
blood sloshing around the body. As
Yeah, but like
very
I think you've
aggressive.
got more problems than just the blood no longer being inside blood vessels. I think you have like beetle problems.
Depending on the priorities, I guess.
to be fair, as human beings, we are all aware of the fact that blood is attempting to leave the body at any given opportunity. You stub your toe, it bleeds. You get a slight nudge to the face, it bleeds. It's like, come on, body, stay inside.
Look, no, the blood isn't leaving. The blood doesn't want to leave. The blood likes where it is. It's like water. It's like the water is fine in an enclosed space, but if it is given a chance, it will leave the enclosed space. It's just what blood does.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really our fault that we're constantly kept in pressure, not just by today's society, but our overall body.
Damn.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
mean,
important to be kept under pressure because if it's not kept under pressure, it can't get to everywhere where it needs to go.
look, our body.
I feel
our
lightheaded.
bodies will work very well because see that your blood vessels are not breaking just because you're moving your body around.
If your blood vessels are breaking by moving your body around, you have a coagulation disorder and must see a doctor.
Back on track. Shadow, what have you been playing?
Me, I have been playing video games, Ebac.
Wow.
That narrows it down.
Well, yeah.
Shock
when
horror.
we were first met to have the podcast before everything went to hell because of Christmas, I had Coral Island I was playing, and it turns out that game's really good now that they've taken out like really annoying things like if you swing your tool and you miss, you no longer take stamina deductions, which is good because that's fucking annoying. And then I just modded it so insect catching was not the bane of my existence. And it turns out once you do that, the game's very fun. And I lost hours to it, and I might lose more hours to it now because they fixed a bug that was annoying me. So. And a bug as in like a software problem, not a bug. But currently, I have been losing countless hours. Hang on, I could probably check my Steam. I have lost 55.5 hours to Hello Kitty Island Adventure, which I am constantly told was like predicted by South Park. Okay, whatever. And that is basically Animal Crossing, but for the PC. Well, it's for the PC now. It was on the, if I remember correctly, it was on PlayStation consoles, and then it's gotten ported over of recent.
Before you continue, I have a philosophical question.
Oh God, what?
If the developers of the game saw the South Park episode and decided, hey, let's call it the Hello Kitty Island Adventure, like in that episode, is that really a prediction?
Not really anymore. I genuinely don't think that South Park had any impact on that. I think that was just a wild thing that they threw out, and it just so happened to come true. Because history doesn't repeat, but it sure does rhyme.
Sometimes,
no,
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, the game's very cute. It's basically Animal Crossing but with Sanrio characters, and it's very very chill. It's very chill. I would recommend it for like families because like it's good for the youngsters kind of thing. And though it does have like an incentive for you to like log in. I say log into the game, but there isn't really a login. It's just like just boot it up kind of thing.
Engage with the game.
Yeah, to engage with it. Like, there is an incentive. There are, like, login bonuses during the certain events that are going on. But the game's very really chill about you logging in. Once you've got all the logging bonuses of, like, one particular event, it's like, fuck it. You can come and go if you wish. But, who cares kind of thing. It is. I will say, it is. It is a good game. It's a good game. I have no like big complaints about it. But I will say it starts off quite small, and you can like go around the island, collect all the resources because there's crafting in there. Because of course there is. And you can get your crafting resources at first, but then as the island starts expanding, and it expands quite a lot, and I've still got. I think I'm on the last area now. I've unlocked the last area, but I'm still unlocking pieces of that. There becomes a point where you're just like, oh Jesus Christ, there's too much to collect here.
Mm.
And it is a good game. It is a good game. There are some like nice quality of life stuff that I wish like Animal Crossing had. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there's just some nice sort of like it just feels nice kind of thing. Like it wants you to enjoy your time kind of thing, and I respect that. I respect the game for doing that kind of thing. It can be annoying in some regards, but like, you know, games do that. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, the one thing I don't like about the game is tools are locked behind story quests, which are locked behind friendship levels of the Sanrio characters. I don't like that. That can be really annoying very quickly, especially if you don't have like the ability to make the objects that get you a lot of friendship in one go. So it could just be a bit tedious, and then you end up like going to the wiki and being like, hey, what's the best gift?
You need to know the optimal friendship path.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing, and I'm looking at things going like, okay, so what's the best gift
I
to
need to
give
optimize.
character? Yeah, you end up like optimizing. You start collecting characters. Like if you want to raise one of their levels, you need to have Hello Kitty with you at a certain friendship point because she gives like 30% more friendship gain. It's just like, and at that point you're just like, no,
Yeah.
this is a job now.
No.
Like
Yeah, when the game starts saying be optimal, you need to be like, no.
Yeah, no
yeah,
fun.
exactly.
I wanna do something else.
You're not paying me for this job.
Mm.
So it's a good game. I would recommend it. It's very sweet. Probably I did say to a friend earlier that it like when I first got it, I did say it didn't seem like it was worth its price point, and I still think it might be a little high, but I think with more stuff unlocked, it kind of starts to pay for itself after a while. I would still advise like if you're thinking about it, maybe wait for a sale just to be on the safe side. Also, but I realize I've let myself be led away. From my main point, which is I played Civ 7.
Ah,
Now I haven't played Civ 7 very long, but that's because I did not enjoy the experience. And that is a bad thing for a game that prides itself on a just one more turn mentality.
You could say you played long enough.
Yes, because I'll go into my Steam and I haven't got any stats for Civ 4 because I played that before before Steam was but a twinkle in Gabe Newell's eye. I played Civ 4. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember when Steam was made. Go away. I'm not very good with numbers. But I have
2004, I think.
these are probably rookie numbers to like proper Civ players, but in Civ 5 I have 224.5 hours in. In Civ 6, no, in Civilization Beyond Earth, I have 240 hours, 0.3. In Civ 6, I have 347.4 hours. So you get an idea of how much I like these games. However, in Civ 7, I could only get through 3.2 hours.
And
Now-
just because you had company.
Yes, because I had company. The thing about Civ 7 is it's cribbing from other 4Xs that have moved into the space, like Sega's Humankind and the Endless Legend series, which is a good thing. We need innovation in the space. We always do. So I like the ideas. I like what they're doing. I like that it's interesting that they've split the civilizations and the leaders apart, so you can have like an Egyptian leader lead, like, I don't know, the Mississippians kind of thing. That was one of the choices I got. However, I think some of the execution is a little bit dodgy in some respects. There's friction between some of the civs. Like, some civs are locked behind certain things that you have to do within an age in order to unlock them. For example, I think one of the examples is you need to get like a certain amount of culture before you unlock a civ that you can be in the next age, kind of thing, because it's split down into like 4 or 5 ages. It's just 4 ages now, with a set amount of, because you change civs each age now. And I understand why they've done that, because it's a very humankind thing, because humankind did that. The problem is it robs it seems to rob you of progression, because for some god knows reason, in the game you start with your main city, and then any subsequent settlements you make, and I'm using the word settlement specifically, becomes a town. Now, the thing about towns is that they don't work like cities. They don't have the full breadth of abilities. Like, they can't build buildings. They've just got one like production, which can be like food, money, or a whole shit ton of stuff. If you want it to become a city, you pay money, and the amount of gold you have to spend increases with how big the town gets, which is fair enough, understandable. Now, slight problem. When you start a new age, those cities revert back into towns, and you have to spend money in order to make them cities again.
Because otherwise you get hampered, because once again, your production is limited to one resource, and
Yes.
yes.
Now, I'm not going to dispute that in historical terms, sometimes cities have decayed. I don't know of any cities that have decayed into towns, though. And it robs this feeling of progression that Civ has, which is very important. Because the main thing about Civ, I think a lot of people there's a lot of different Civ players, and we all argue. Well, I'm pretty sure we all argue, but I think a lot of them would agree the main point of Civ is like, you take this small tribe of people and you raise them into a great empire. What's the point of looking back at all that you have done when the game like reverts everything back?
Yeah, the progression from the previous age does not translate correctly to the next age.
Yeah, no, and also if you choose a different Civ, sometimes units just disappear or change, kind of thing, and it's like, huh? Like, I understand why you're doing that, but huh?
I mean,
I'm just trying to get my head around this. It's like, progression shouldn't be a detriment.
Yeah, it's so strange, because like,
I mean,
because the thing is, like, progressing to the next age is very strange. I didn't actually manage to progress to another age. I'll just point that out there. I got sick of the game to the point where I was just like, fuck it, I'm done with this, kind of thing. But if I remember correctly, moving to the next age is on a timer. Like, you're in an age for a certain amount of time, and then a crisis happens. And then you all have to deal with the crisis, and sometimes the crisis can be doable, or there is a crisis in one of the games, which is basically like reload until you get a different crisis, which is not great. Okay. And basically, you go through the crisis, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and then there's a point where it stops ? And then you move into the next stage. it's on like a linear progression. Nobody can get ahead of anyone else. You're stuck. You're in the same age, kind of thing. You're all moving together. Now, the problem with moving into the next age is, well, you change your civs for one. So you've got completely different units. Some disappear, some don't. All your buildings are different, and then wars that you might have been like having like at the time just instantly stop, like instantly, and it's like that's not like I understand what you're trying to simulate here, but that's not how that works.
Because that absolutely happened when Italy switched from Middle Ages to Renaissance. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. All the wars suddenly stopped happening.
Yeah, and I've not even got onto the point that the UI is a piece of crap. Okay, like there's been several updates of recent
I think
that
the
made it a bit
worst
better.
thing
But I've spent like time. But the thing is, like, I've been in the UI sometimes and I've not understood what the fuck it wants me to do, kind of thing. It's like I didn't know I could place buildings together.
Oh
Like
god.
I could see that there was 2 slots in a tile for something, and I was like, okay, are they upgrades? But no, you could put 2 buildings together, but we won't tell you. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
great, thanks. And now I am just going to go on a big rant. I'm so sorry, Elle. But like,
Unnecessary apology detected. Warning.
like city borders don't increase by culture anymore. They increase by building growth, and then you just buy another tile to move to like grow the city, which is more yeah, it makes more sense. But then what does culture do now? And you watched me, didn't you, Burr? I
Yeah.
went into the Civilopedia to try and find out
You
what
know,
culture does now.
Civilopedia is fucking useless now.
Did not fucking tell me. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
there is like it will tell you like lovely historical detail about this, like these wonders and stuff, and that's great. I would never mock the Civilopedia for doing that. But I also want to know basic game concepts, please. And it wasn't telling me that. Like, also on a recent patch note, the dev said, "Oh yeah, now the game will tell you when one of your units is attacked." And I'm like, that wasn't in the base game. What?
How?
Yeah, it's just like there is so much stuff missing
Like,
from the game, and like half of me is the cynical person saying, "Oh yeah, this was taken out so they can sell us back to it as DLC." But of course, because that's what's happened with most Civ games. But at the same time, it kind of feels like this game has been rushed out
Yeah.
in a
'cause
way.
I've been playing strategy games since I was 6. I played Dune 2 when it came out. Every strategy game I've ever played, real time or turn based or 4X or anything, has never not said your unit is under attack. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. And like, and this is a personal.
Every out of the box civilization did that.
Yeah, exactly. And like this is more of a personal thing because I know hot seat modes are like relatively niche now, but Civilization has always shipped with a hot seat mode, except 7. 7 does not have a hot seat mode. And it's like
Just to be sure, define hot seat mode.
so a hot seat mode is where players take turns but on the same computer. So you'll have like a splash screen that says player 1 start here, and they'll click the ready button and then they'll do their turn, and then they'll finish the turn and the splash symbol comes back and then it says player 2 sort of thing. So you're playing the same game, multiple people, same computer.
I was getting confused with drop in, drop out multiplayer.
Yeah, no, this is same computer, one game kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And personally, I use it as like a controlled single player where I control all the enemies and stuff like that. It's the way I
Yeah.
like to play Civ, kind of thing. You can call me a
It's
casual.
valid.
You can call me casual. That's fine. I don't mind. Like I know I'm not very good at Civ, but
Games
like
are supposed to be played casually. That's what video games are.
yeah, but like Civ not shipping with a hot seat mode is upsetting. I can kind of understand it because it's like it's not really a thing that happens very much nowadays. but it's still nice to have. And the fact this is the first Civ game that's gone to release without one, kind of, it's kind of obvious. And the fact that they've actually had to say they're going to add a hot seat mode implies to me there's quite a lot of like diehard Civ players that still want it and still use it, which is
Yeah,
good
plenty of
and
old
also
guards just
bad.
going, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly. Quite a lot of other 4X games tend to have simultaneous turns now, so they can't have a hot seat mode, which is a shame, personally for me, because I have to learn how to play the game. But so I can kind of understand that it wasn't like a primary thought, but at the same time, I kind of wonder if it's an indication that Firaxis has maybe forgotten what Civ is supposed to be. Like, they're too busy, like, they're trying to catch up with the competition, and that's fair. Like, there should always be competition in the space, and Civ has not really had much, like, proper competition for a long period of time. But I also worry that in doing so, but they've been so caught up with chasing the competition that they've forgotten what makes them great, kind of thing. And I'm not going to say that the new ideas that Civ 7 brings to the table are not bad. They're not bad. They're interesting. I like them. The problem is the game is getting in the way of itself, kind of thing. I can't experience these ideas because there's so much shit going on around them that doesn't make any sense. Like the stuff with I think the stuff with the ages could be really interesting, but it's just not conveyed very well. The fact that wars just seem to end on a dime, kind of thing. And I mean, perhaps I could kind of understand that because it's like, oh, if you're in a war, and now you're in a new age and you've got new units, you want to figure out how to use those units before you go back into another war. But at the same time, like, yeah, but it doesn't make any sense for it to stop, though. It's just
Also,
the game is fighting against each other, against itself. So I've basically gone back to Civ 6 for now
and it's
until they
missing
add
a lot
hot
of
seat mode.
components that the previous games had.
Pardon, sorry?
It's missing a lot of components that previous games had. And
Oh yeah, but that
Sorry,
was
go
kind of stripped from like Civ 5 had religion stripped from it and had to be added back in. That had to be added back in one of the DLCs. I think that was God and Kings, and then Civ 6 had religion baked into the base, I think.
It had,
I
But
remember
then
being
it was
there.
expanded in another. It was expanded in another expansion, I think.
yes. It's because you could create Pantheon from the get go.
Hmm.
From the,
Yeah,
from
it's
the vanilla.
yeah. I mean, I kind of maybe this is just me, the frog sitting in the boiling water. But I kind of expect like Firaxis to strip things out and then put them back in again. Now I say that I'm definitely the frog in the boiling water, but in this
mean,
in
we
Civ
all
7 it
are.
feels particularly naked at the moment. It's just like, ooh.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
just wanted to answer the question from Drifting. Is Civ made by EA? No,
No.
but
2K games.
It's
made
published by
yes.
2K, yes.
It's made by a subsidiary, Firaxis subsidiary of 2K Games. And if you look at how they acted with like the NBA 2K games, and I don't know to what extent with WWF 2K, but with NBA definitely there was a lot of scandals about
I
how
mean,
horribly
Yeah.
microtransaction-y that was.
one of the big examples is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Rockstar, don't bother making a new Grand Theft Auto game just yet because we're going to milk the online for everything it's worth.
Yeah, I will say the pre-order bonuses for Civ 7, were particularly egregious this time around. There was the
We'll get
there
there.
was
We'll get
the-
there.
Yeah, there was the patented Founders Edition. I think it was. It was about 100. Let me actually look at the store page. Yes. So the base price for Civ 7 is 60 quid right now. If you buy the deluxe edition, you get some nice little cosmetic bonuses and stuff like that, and that will put you out about £90. But if you bought the Founders Edition, which they're actually going to take off sale from what they were saying earlier, you actually got I think it was like 7 days early access into the game. Sorry for those people, and sorry you guys had
Yay.
to pay. Sorry you guys, you had to pay 120 quid for the decency of buying an early access Civ game. My apologies, sir. My
You gotta
apologies.
buy into the beta.
Yeah, 120 quid for the privilege. Like, they were really pushing it this year, and I was just like, oh god, please. So yeah, and the thing was, I was so excited for Civ 7. Like, I pre-ordered it. I didn't pre-order like the big ones, and thank God I didn't. But like, I was excited for it because I always loved Civ.
Yeah.
I spent, like, as I said, I spend like hours in it, but apparently not this time, and I was very disappointed about it. So I just played Hello Kitty and Civ 6 instead.
Yeah, I mean, Civ 6 for an 8-year-old game, it's absolutely amazing still.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
because like you can get like the season pass now to get like a good whack of stuff for quite a competitive price. And Civ 6 goes on sale all the time now, so you can get like the bundle of everything for not that much money if you're quick. And honestly, you get such a good complete experience. I really enjoy Civ 6. Like, I know a couple of people didn't like its more cartoony art style, but like I think it's really good. I genuinely
There'll always be those people like Civ 5 was better. It's like,
Well, when I come to, I think, but we're already dealing with an abstract game. You're going to have an I think an abstract art style works with that. You know,
Also, because of the more cartoony art style, Civ 6 looks really great still.
and that's timeless.
yes.
It's
Yeah.
aged much less than at the same time Civ 5 or 4 have aged.
Oh,
And
we do have some breaking news actually that
Oh?
I will.
Oh, breaking news!
is
Yeah,
this-
Jason Schreier has put on Blue Sky that Warner Brother Games is shutting down Monolith Productions, Player First Games, and Warner Brothers San Diego. Sources tell Bloomberg News. They're also cancelling the Wonder Woman game.
Oh well.
Wow.
I shall put the news in the chat.
Please do. I'll bring it
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
just a moment ago we were talking about Warner Brothers patenting the Nemesis system from the Shadow of games so that no one uses them. And now they're
Yep.
chucking the entire dev team that made the Shadow of games. Great. Well done, Warner Brothers.
Well done, Warner Brothers. Now you're in a patent for something you're not going to fucking do.
I love how Drifting's like, what would Wonder Woman game? Exactly.
Exactly.
Now you never know.
The one that was supposed to be a tax write-off from the beginning, probably.
And
Probably, yeah.
and that's the thing is that there goes with it, the Batman Arkham series, which of course ended because Warner Brothers decided we want a game that's set in the Arkham universe. We don't want to set around Batman. We want to set around the Suicide Squad because they're a hot property at the minute. This was what they said 5 years ago, which of course 5 years now marched on and they're not as hot properties as they were. And also, we want it as a live service game.
I mean,
Because we are talking about Warner Brothers as a whole, the company that has figured out, oh wait, we can earn more money on tax write-offs than we can actually releasing the game.
Yeah, it's just.
Do that.
This is heartbreaking and sad. I'm going to quickly move
sorry.
on. But that's all right. I'm going to move on with what
Yeah.
I've been playing.
Yes.
So I'm going to quickly cover a few things I've only been playing because there's a main thing I've been playing recently. I played some Gang Beasts the first time. Very much enjoyed that. You can watch the stream of that when I played that with Paige at the Weird Blasters. I actually played Mario Golf Super Rush. Really enjoyed that for the session we had for that. Power Wash Simulator. Great fun doing the Final Fantasy stuff in that, even if I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. I I also
Believe
finished.
it or not, I'm the same.
I also played and finished Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is a standout game and perhaps is my game of is brightly my game of the year for last year. Absolutely loved it. Still buggy according to Birth. Thanks for keeping us abreast of that situation.
It is still buggy. You have to if you want to 100% it, you have to wait for at least update number 4.
Well, I'm probably going to have my new PC in time with them before, so it's fine. Also, thanks this weekend, I played Desperados 3 at Game Blast, as well as The Outer Worlds, and Shadows of Doubt. I very much enjoyed Shadows of Doubt. Very much it's a procedural voxel-based detective game.
Detective, yeah.
Yes, and there is an element of you just being left to your own devices. I think that maybe it can be a little too hands off at times. In my opinion,
I did get that impression.
It is occasionally very scary.
What was that?
Because of that. It is occasionally very scary because of that, because you're left to your own devices.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah, overwhelming can be is a word I think is I'll be looking for there.
But also that makes if you are able to just take your hands off the driving wheel, it's a great sandbox.
It is. I do think that they did a great job with that. I'm interested to see how it plays. I did like the Outer Worlds. I thought it was great. A typical Obsidian RPG. It did give me very big Fallout vibes, and very much like, oh wow, this is capitalism gone mad. This is capitalism.
This is too close to home now.
This is capitalism taken to the logical extreme of literally having to rent your own graves.
This is what happens when you make Elon Musk a president.
Let's not get there.
Don't.
So I did enjoy that. The one that really stood out to me, however, across the weekend was Desperados 3. Now, I played the other Desperados games, and when it comes to the Desperados games, I actually very much enjoyed the first game, although the first game is a very much old-style game where you are... Literally, it is... The whole point of the game is you're supposed to... it very much is a... Try something, repeat. If it doesn't work, load up, repeat. And what I like about the game is that it makes all quick saving, quick loading a part of its mechanics, in that after about a minute, and I will say literally a minute where you've not saved, a little icon on the top will say save game 1 minute, 1 minute, so 1 second, 2 seconds, and it will count up. And the more minutes it gains, the kind of more kind of glowy it becomes to draw your attention to it. All you do is click it and it will save right there and then for you.
Oh, that's quite neat, actually.
And for a game which does very much rely on you experimenting with what to do, which the footage you see is actually my footage, was a very enjoyable game experience. Love the game, love the characters. I'm definitely probably going to return. There was even a temptation for me to return to streaming it, even though it's not part of my plan for Game Blast. It's just such a game I really enjoy.
Well, do it if you're having fun with it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Let yourself have fun.
You're enabling me.
Yes, I am. I want you. Oh no! I want one of my best friends to have a good time. Woe is me.
That's fine.
How can I do this? Such a villainous I am.
There's one more thing that our dear friend Shadow always says too. Treat
yourself.
Yes.
I will also say,
too short.
I played the next out of play, and it's the original Desperados because I have it, and it really is like I much prefer Desperados 3. Desperados 1 very much is it embodies the whole idea of trial and error gameplay, but not in a fun way. Whereas Desperados 3, because they make it as part of, like, they drill it into you. This is about experimenting and doing things each time. It's the point where one thing I really love, I'm gonna see if I can bring it up on the overlay, is the end of the mission or the end of the level. Where is it? Here we go. So it'll give you some like accolades called badges that you could achieve, which you don't need to. They're not tied to
They're just for fun.
They're just for fun. They're not tied to any kind of any kind of what do they call
Progression?
it? Achievements or progression. You're right. And they can be of varying difficulty. Like, for example, here, save all groups of civilians, kill 3 bandits at the same time, kill bandits using dynamite, distract 3 bandits at the same time using Cooper's coin, don't save during the mission, don't use firearms, speed run and complete the mission in 5 minutes, 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
5.5 minutes.
Which is like,
Whereas,
what?
Yeah, the mission took us like 45 minutes. Like, finish it 9 times faster. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But the bit that I like most is the section you get after that screen, which shows you an overview of the entire level and your route through it and what you did from start to
neat.
finish.
That is really cool.
That
Yeah.
is really cool. And you can change the time at which it happens. You can speed it up if you want, or slow it down.
I must admit, the view reminds me a little bit of the Shadowrun games, actually.
Yeah.
Except a lot more colourful.
It is a very nice isometric view, and I mean it has to be colorful because you need to be quickly
Clear distinction of
aware
characters.
where the enemies are, where the bushes are, where the interactive objects are.
Yeah, I really need to get back into Shadowrun. I played the first game, Shadowrun Returns, and that was a good game. And then I've got hold of like Dragonfall and Hong Kong, and I just have not. Like
I
I
haven't
keep
touched
trying to
any of
get
them, and
back.
I've
I
always
keep
meant to.
trying to get back into Dragonfall, but I just can't. Like it doesn't. I keep bouncing off it. I don't know why.
The other thing I've been doing is, of course, I played, of course, Indiana Jones and such. I did also boot up very, very briefly, had a little bit of stint on it, some Tomb Raider Remastered, the second remastered collection, 4, 5, and 6. Very well done. I'm looking at that. I'm looking forward to diving into those more. But the games I've been playing the most over the last since Christmas is Pokemon games.
All right.
Oh yeah, you actually got me.
Yeah.
You actually briefly got me back into like playing some of the ROMs. I have.
Yeah, it's because I around Christmas I thought I felt like I think it literally was Christmas Day, and it was about in the morning. I thought I felt like for some reason I felt like playing a Pokemon game, and I had not purchased Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee, so I decided I'll play Let's Go Eevee, and I played through that. Ended up getting a living dex in Let's Go Eevee. Apart from one Pokemon in a Growlithe, but oh well, we'll figure that one out. I then decided let's take it further. Let's see if I can get the living dex done for Sword and Shield, which I then spent most of January doing that. And now that's done, I've been spending a lot of time getting the living dex done for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So yeah, I'm kind of slowly trying to get together a living dex in each game. Whether or not that I'll continue, because I have to admit, I did get to a point in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl where I'm like encountering trainers that I've not fought before, and I'm like, oh, just get on with it, you know. I did not. I have to admit, I did not like Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl or its layout or its whatever.
Yeah, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is nice. I do like the game. I think my main problem is it's not platinum. It is just a remake of Diamond and Pearl, and the problem is that Platinum brought in so much more like new content, new Pokemon, and lots of quality of life stuff that going back to Diamond and Pearl, even these like tarted up ones, it just feels like a downgrade to me. And every time I'm just thinking like I could be playing Platinum. I want to play Platinum.
There's also quality of life things I'm not a fan of. Like, for example, I wanted to get to kind of Route 24, whatever it is, the one that you can get to only from Victory Road.
Oh, yeah, 224.
224, that was it. Yeah, 224. And what annoyed me is I can't just fly to a town after it, because there is no town after it, at least to Shaman's area, wherever it is. You can't fly to the area. So to get to, I had to go through Victory Road. I'm like, where the hell? Because I've not been there for ages. I'm like, where the fucking hell is it? Where do I fucking go? And this is where I was encountering trainers that I'd not before, because now I'm having to explore the entirety of Victory Road.
Yeah, because you're in the post-game area.
And it was so annoying. So yeah, it did get annoying. I am probably not too far from getting a hold of all my of the Pokemon from it, thankfully. So, yeah.
Were you in the area where you meet Marley?
Honestly, I can't remember.
Oh, fair enough.
It's been
You
so.
would remember her. She's the goth girl with a I forgot what Pokemon she has, but I always really like her. She's got a nice design.
I honestly can't recall. So probably not.
It's fine, no worries.
But no, I've nearly got a living dex in that, which is good. Because I'm trying to complete the Pokédexes in Home, because Home only registers the Pokemon from the region you caught them. So, for example, even though I've got a Pikachu, it only counts the Pikachu I caught as part of that dex. It only counts for the Galar dex. So if I wanted to count for the Sinnoh dex, I had to catch Pikachu in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Although you can breed Pokemon in them, and they count. So that's what I'm doing for the ones I can't get because they're in Diamond or Brilliant Diamond. I am literally just breeding from other ones I've got in world. Although I'm gonna have to ask someone to send me a Palkia at some point, or whichever one I'm missing.
Oh,
but
she
yeah.
does have an Arcanine. I thought so. Sorry.
But yeah, there is that, and it kind of all come off this idea that I didn't really play much of Scarlet and Violet when it came out, and I kind of didn't want to leap into that without feel like I felt like I was not ready to leap into Scarlet and Violet again. I want to kind of get rid of my unfinished business in the older games first. So there's that. So that next on the list is Arceus and
I still haven't done the Elite Four fight for Brilliant Diamond. I really need to work on that, but I think I was
done
working
that.
on my spreadsheet and I just forgot.
But yeah, and so next I'll probably at some point leap into Arceus and also finish off that and finish Scarlet and Violet as well. So that should be fun.
I haven't even played those games.
I know.
I don't know, man. It just I want the Pokemon from there, but I don't want to play the game, you know?
I'm hopeful that this Thursday will give us some hope for Pokemon.
I only ever played Leaf Green.
Hey, that is a good remake. That is a good game. Like, I have never played any of the Kanto games until I started playing my Fire Red ROM, and you know, they're just kind of good. I must admit, I can see why people like the Kanto games because it's quite free. Once you get past, I think it's Vermilion City and Lieutenant Surge, you've got the map kind of opens up a bit and you can go to multiple towns.
Yeah.
Even though there's kind of like an expected way for you to go, kind of thing. I mean, I get that. I get it. And there was a little bit of that in the Johto region, but not that much. You could choose like left or right past Morty's town.
Also, before we move on to the topic,
I was just.
Go on.
If you let me finish, I will just quick. I will just say, I'm not very good with. I'm not very good with that. I'm just like Look, I know people like to explore in Pokemon games. I need a more linear path, please. I'm begging you. I'm not very good when left in sandboxes. I will fall down an infinite hole and get myself killed. Please. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like people wanted an open world Pokemon, got their wish, and then realized, oh, actually, this doesn't really work.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Lemming?
I forgot a game I've been playing.
Go on.
Oh no.
Every Monday, I've been playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
How are you finding it?
For the most part, it's an enjoyable game. I'm enjoying the character progression and continuing to see where we're going with this story. I don't like the fact that a bunch of the puzzles in this game make me feel stupid because there is no direction.
Kind of makes you wish you had someone there saying, "Hey, why don't you do this?" Isn't
yeah,
it?
exactly. You know, especially since most of the times I have another character with me at the time.
Yeah, or you could have like Beady, like run and Pointy's little face.
Yeah, because the first time it happened was a couple of weeks ago. I was on Jeddah doing stuff. I was in basically an arena-looking thing, and I had to leave. There was a box, there was a ledge. I was like, cool. Push the box against the ledge, hop up, try to hop up, couldn't hop up. This must be wrong. Spent 20 minutes looking for alternative exits. Eventually got sick and Googled it, and I was doing exactly the right thing. The game just didn't want to cooperate.
Oh no.
So I
I hate
eventually
that.
tried again and hopped up where I should hop up and got out. This last Monday, however, I got to an area full of lava, and there's like 3 different puzzles in this big ass area, and it doesn't tell you which puzzles are connected with what and where you should do things. There's a
Oof.
ball, a power ball that you have to put in stuff. I was like, cool. I passed a door that needs a ball. This must be for that. I can't get it back there. I don't know what it's for now.
Oh,
I'm
no.
going to have to Google it before I play next week.
It's a shame because I can't
Also,
remember
yes,
if
I did dodge most attacks there.
Yeah, I'm actually showing Lemming's footage as we speak, rather than using someone random footage. I thought best to kind of highlight Lemming Russ. Go follow Lemming Russ on a.
Yeah,
on-
that's
Yeah,
the exact
follow
area I
the
was having
map.
trouble with. I was going around that area on the bird, on the flying creatures, just like, where am I supposed to go?
Hey, if you follow Lemming Russ, you can see that he's going to be playing stuff. He's going to be playing Portal 2 with Drifting,
Yep,
because that's the
that's
co-op
right.
one.
That's
And
tomorrow.
also, him and I are going to be playing Rogue Trader, or he's going to be the Knight Captain. Well, I think it's Knight Captain. I can't remember.
It-
I don't know what. Like you're the guy in charge, and I'm his
Yeah.
little servo skull / mercenary when I get a body.
I thought you
I'm
were
here
going
to
say-
enable him.
I thought you were going to say he's going to be trader and I'm going to be rogue.
I am not nearly
Might as
as
well
cool.
be.
I'm not nearly as pretty enough to be rogue.
And I will also, speaking of collabs, sometime in the future, I will also be showing Scarfulu the wonders of Warhammer 40k
Yes.
when he plays Bolt Gun. That's gonna
I
be fun.
can't wait to see that. That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, we're hashing out a date for it as we speak.
Drifting
Yes.
also says the following in the comments. Galar also did it pretty well in my opinion. I got annoyed with the fans who were like, why aren't we asked to do plot things? And I was like, you bastards have been whining about how you're just an 11-year-old kid doing the jobs of adults around you, but now that they actually do something, you're upset that you don't get to do things?
That is true. In the Galar story, a lot of the adults are actually like that. Like stuff happens, and the adults are like, "Oh yeah, we'll deal with that," kind of thing. And people got mad about it. It's like, aren't you always saying like we have to deal with things ourselves? Like I know
My
we're the
God, why don't
protagonists,
the
but we are
adults
10
do
years
stuff?
old. We are 10,
Like-
11, 12 years old. We are children.
Like, God, why don't the adults do things?
The adults
10
do
minutes
things.
later, God, why are the adults doing things?
I know, right?
It's so annoying.
Really so, the topic, eBack.
Yes, the topic. This is a topic which came across because we're going to talk about Game Blast to kind of wrap things up for the evening as a bit of a positive one. But the one I wanted to kind of posit this discussion to the group and to our audience about the cost and value of games. Now, this came up because of a game that I'm excited for. There's no doubt about that I'm excited for, but there I have concerns over, and it's pricing. And I'm going to bring up the Steam page on my display so people can see it here. So here we go. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. We have, of course, got the trailer and going for it. Look at that cost right there and there.
Yeah.
$69.99 for just the standard edition. You want
But
to
if-
just go on.
But if you pre-purchase it, you could pay 80 quid to get advanced access.
Yes. Which, bear in mind, all the digital deluxe edition is advanced access and the sneaking pack DLC, which is basically some unique costumes that were not in the original game, so they are new costumes. So I don't begrudge them making a DLC pack for new costumes. I do begrudge them advertising this DLC pack months in advance. But that is that's not what I'm discussing here. This is a premium game. Now for for comparison,
I've also put Civ 7's pricing tiers for you as well, if you want another example of this.
Now it's on
It no
offer.
longer, it no longer has the advanced access, but
That's fair, but on offer as well. Look at the Great Circle. It is $59.99, so it is cheaper. That's the standard price, not the discounted price as well. Bear in mind. Bear in mind, you can also get the premium edition for 85 quid. So that has its own premium edition. But still, the base
that's
cost.
base 60.
Yeah, base 60 compared to the base 70. And this is something which we're seeing quite a lot, is some games shifting from the £60 margin up to £70. Now, we've seen this before. I will, of course, have to criticize another company for their pricing. Actually, no, Outlaws, same thing. 60 quid. 60 quid.
Yeah.
Can't,
Yeah.
Go on.
No, sorry. No, finish up.
You can't say no. However, when it comes to Metal Gear Solid Delta, I have a very big bone to pick with this. Now,
I believe we're picking at the same bone here.
Yes, Lemming, why don't you kind of jump in?
It's a remake.
Yes, it is a game that was made 20 years ago. Now, bear in mind, it looks shiny. It does look shiny. It looks good. However, the level layouts, the story, the script, the narrative, even the voice acting is all being reused. The only thing they have to do is just rebuild this. They have not even a skeleton, or they have a skeleton and a nervous system. All they do is actually put some skin on the fucking thing, pretty much.
Like,
now,
Konami, I have already bought this fucking game 3 times. Don't make me buy it again, especially not with this price hike.
Yeah,
It's a remake. Everything is already there. You're just remaking it, making the controls more up to date, and putting a newer, prettier skin on it.
Yeah, it even
It's
sounds
not
more like
worth
a-
£70. Actually, how many times have I... No, 4 times.
Hey,
I bought this game 4
could have
times.
just put the year up to like 1990.
that's what I'm just doing. Yeah, but here we go.
But it's the fact that I bought it on PlayStation 2 when it first came out. I bought it on 3DS, which right there. I have it. I bought it on Xbox 360 on the re-release. I bought it on PC when it was remastered again.
Now, I want to point out a game that is not even 2 years old at this point, Resident Evil 4, which is itself a remake, sold $32.98. Which probably, when it came out, was more around 40 quid. That I can stomach. I just think, and even...
Yeah, that's about right for a decent remake.
And Silent Hill 2, people must say, well, about Silent Hill 2? That, at least, like Resident Evil 4, is a reimagining of the game. It's not a full one-to-one remake. So I don't think it generally applies there either. And even then, it's still 60 quid, not 70. You know, again, I keep coming back to this idea that Metal Gear Solid, and not just that Metal Gear Solid 4 Delta, but games in general are starting to go up in price. There's talk of Grand Theft Auto 6 trying to push potentially a £100, $100 entry price, which, you know, I'm actually someone who while I don't want it to become a standard, I am perfectly fine with us having a sliding scale of cost to quality. For example, if I'm getting GTA 6, I know I'm buying quality.
Yes.
So
an example when it comes to the remakes here, the remasters, Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition. That's 3 games. It's £60, 20 quid each.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, I feel that companies are starting to take the piss a little bit. Now, not just with the increase of games, but also because of what we are getting. We are paying more for what is, in my opinion, a lesser product. And I say that without reservation when I look at games like Outlaws. I loved Outlaws, but it was a buggy mess. Jedi Survivor released a buggy mess. Planet Coaster 2 released a buggy mess. I am seeing game companies release games and they have the ludicrous audacity to say to me, pay more, Gamers should be expected to pay more for games. Well, then maybe you should look at providing us with a quality service.
Yeah, I mean, you did hear me talk about the price points for Civilization 7. I mean, you can bring them up.
I
'cause
will.
think
I
them-
will.
bring them.
Yeah.
Like, put them on screen, sir. I mean, I did explain what they were earlier, but when they're on screen, as you can already see, chat, mixed reviews. So you can probably tell how well this is going down. So, like, I will point out it doesn't show anymore because, of course, this game is released. But the Founders Edition, and I think maybe the Deluxe Edition, had advanced access. So Civ 7, the basic price of $60. I paid that when I pre-ordered it. And I'm glad I just paid $60 because for what I got for my $60, I didn't get the experience I wanted. It was certainly a shiny product. It certainly had the bells and whistles of a AAA product, but I did not enjoy myself, kind of thing. And I feel for the people who paid £90 or, Jesus Christ, £120. And I will just say also, that Founders Edition right there, that's actually going to be taken off sale soon.
Really?
Yes, there is a community post about it. I think if you scroll down, it is the first one called Update Check-in. And at the very bottom, it says, it is the last week for the Founders Edition. Thanks to all our Civ fans who have purchased the Civilization 7 Founders Edition. As a reminder, this digital-only edition is only available for purchase until next Friday, February the 28th. And for details of what you can get in this Founders Edition, so you get 2 other civs, you get 2 new leaders, 4 new civilizations, 4 new natural wonders, 1 badge cosmetic bonus. It's basically a season pass where you get 2 new leaders, 4 new civs, 4 new wonders, and a special cosmetic bonus with a little asterisk, which probably means we don't know what that is yet. And then you get what's in the deluxe content pack, which is 2 other leaders, 4 profile customizations, 1 alternate style skin, and then the Founders content pack, which I'm not sure if you'll be able to buy this after release. I think you might, because they've done that before with some pre-order bonuses for Civ 6, but it includes 2 other leader personas, Himiko, the High Shaman, and Ashoka, World Conqueror, 4 profile customizations, 1 Fog of War tile set, and 1 Founders Palace skin. Now, in fairness, you're like, oh, that sounds like, that sounds fine. That sounds like cosmetics. No, because the 2 leaders, they have different play styles, they have different bonuses. So that's a gameplay. So that affects gameplay.
We don't know if those 2 will be OP as fuck.
Yeah, you don't know that. I don't know that kind of thing. And now we don't know. There's still a button. There's still a button so you can buy the upgrade for now. What happens when they take that off sale? Well, okay. I will just add, I am pointing out this is a digital product, right? That is being taken off sale. Why? What? Shits and giggles, I guess.
I mean,
But it's there for the people who want to be there at the founding.
Yeah,
psychologically.
Yeah, it's FOMO kind of thing, and it's just.
I'm gonna vote for this.
Yeah, it's just absolutely fucking ridiculous. If you scroll down, L, I think it's on stream. Yeah, it's on stream already. You can pay 50 quid to if you've got the base game, you can pay 50 quid to upgrade to the Founders Edition. Whether that's going to stay after the 28th of February, God knows. And if it doesn't stay, then goodbye. There's some stuff that you will never get. So and the thing is, I
don't think you will never get it, but if it's so,
I don't know, but that's the thing, Bert.
We don't know.
Yeah,
We
so
don't know. So get your cash in. So pay
sorry
up.
to interrupt you, but I think with all the problems that Civ 7 has, I think when it goes out of sales, it is just one more incentive to wait for forever, maybe playing Civ 6 until we get like the Game of the Year edition with a season pass,
Will we even
with the
get
first
that?
DLC or all
Yeah, but will we
DLC.
get that? You don't.
but-
You and I both don't. You and I both don't know if the Founders Edition just disappears completely.
Yeah.
We don't know that. They are preying specifically on the unknown to get
That is
people
true,
to
we
cough
don't-
up 50
We
quid.
absolutely don't know that, but we also don't know whether it will not appear at some point. We do know that Firaxis with Civilization has always had, like, years after its release, they will always have discounts. They will always have bundles.
But we
Yeah,
don't know.
But
That's
that's the thing, Bert. We don't know if these leaders are going to stay. Like, these could be gone for good after the 28th. They could just be gone and we never see them again at all. This is the entire possibility, and they are preying upon this unknown to steal people's money. And I think I understand where you're coming from. I genuinely do. I understand, like, yeah, wait for discounts, but like, what's the point about waiting for a discount for a thing I can never buy again? That's the problem.
And you may say that,
So
and,
it's
you
just-
and you may say that. Well, odds are they're going to release it as DLC. They might not. I've seen
They
companies
might
with
not,
withhold
that's true.
things.
But that's also my point. From my perspective, it's still better to wait either for a better, first of all, for them to fix Civ 7. Second of all, for them to add all the things back to Civ 7 in some good price, or for Civ 8 and just show flips to Civ 7 and just wait for Civ 8 instead. And put
I
Civ 8
understand
on
that.
it.
I genuinely understand that, and I will be waiting for them to fix Civ 7. What I'm trying to explain is that missing content, essentially, just
no,
because
no.
we didn't cough up a lot of money in a short amount of time, kind of thing. And like, that's content that potentially can never be put back into the game, and therefore you spend the rest of your time just going like, I don't have a complete game. And like, I can understand people saying, well, like, like, who cares, kind of thing, but I care.
I care.
Yeah.
Like,
I care.
maybe I want to play those characters.
I'm kind of
I mean,
fed
I-
up. So,
I care too.
go
I
on.
want to play Civ 7. I really want to play a new civilization, a good new civilization game. It's just I don't need to play a bad new civilization game
Yeah.
from an
Yeah,
egregious company that does this kind of thing.
I know, but like, I can't undo my purchase anymore, Burr. Like, I'm
know.
3 hours. I'm an hour over like the Steam like refund thing. So I have to take what I can, basically, and that's going to be the case for a lot of people now, sort of
Mm.
thing.
Civ's not like a
And-
game where you can just play 2 hours and
No.
yeah, it's
No, I'm not attacking you, but
No.
not at all.
I know. Yeah. We know you're not. We know you're coming from this from a good angle. I think what I'm trying to get across is this is egregious behavior, kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is absolutely egregious behavior.
Yeah, this is egregious behavior, and I don't like it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I hate it, which is why I don't want to negotiate with terrorists. And whether the Founders Edition shows up again ever or not, I still think not buying the Founders Edition is always the better approach.
Yeah, I think we are aligned in that regard. It's
Yeah.
just I think my outrage is more that the fact that they are not only did they do advanced access, not only did they do a 3-tier system, they are doing FOMO on the most expensive tier, kind of thing,
Yeah.
and that's just fucking the worst.
Yeah.
I've also noticed something that I feel the
absolutely
need to
the worst.
pop up.
go on.
Uh-huh.
Their pricing is also scuffed. I mean,
Uh-huh. Go
you
ahead.
got all the pricing on the like. Founders Edition, £120. Normal
Yes.
Edition, £60. Upgrade is £50.
Yes.
Yes, I mean that's
That's £10 cheaper.
No, it's not. Actually, you're right. Actually, yeah, it is.
Jesus Christ.
50 plus 60 is 110.
Yeah, you pay. It's cheaper to buy the base game and then buy the upgrade than it is to actually get the
That-
Founders Edition.
That's so cheeky. That's even worse, actually.
Like
That is
Firaxis
another
2K.
That's another egregious practice, and I think 2K is doing that a lot. We would have to go through all kinds of like Rockstar games, Take-Two games, and such. But I think they've been doing it always because that makes you think like, hold on, maybe it's a good idea to buy Founders Edition. No, it's still not.
Yeah,
even though
that
it's
is
cheaper that way.
scuffed.
That is. I hadn't even noticed that. Holy shit.
Yeah, the pricing is not
cheeky.
right.
That is so fucking cheeky.
I think
And now,
I thought flying through my head, and then it just gone. But yes, absolutely right. This is another psychological maneuver to like get you into buying.
Is anyone else tired or getting tired of the idea that getting the idea that you get it that we're paying like 70 quid, we're not getting the full game?
yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
I will just say, my VOD Ninja is frozen. That's great.
Mm.
Oh no, it recovered. I was gonna say, so I paid about 60 quid for Civ 7, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hello Kitty, which I've spent many more hours in, 27 more hours in. Well, 27 hours in to be exact. That is 36 quid. And I would say maybe a little less, maybe just a little less. But I honestly, like, I got my money's worth, and I'm quite proud of that. Honestly, but also, I will just say, this game was a port from from the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So this is a ported game for about 35 quid. It's given me, pardon me, sorry, my apologies. It's given me far more content than Civ for nearly half the price.
Don't
I mean, if we want to go to an extreme, I'd like to point out one game that I own on Steam, and I have owned it on Steam for a number of years,
gone.
decades even, that I have 400 hours in.
Gone.
It cost me £8.50. It's Terraria.
True. Yeah, I can also
True.
probably point to Stardew Valley, which is cheap as shit, honestly.
Hitman for me. There are always games
Yep.
which you get your value. And don't go
but
wrong.
also,
Go on, Ben.
also, just want to say those games have years and years of constant updates and new content and improving things. So that's also the devs giving you things for something you have only once paid for.
Yeah.
Mm.
I will just say, as you know, to give a score into the Premier games, I will say, not AAA, because I don't think Larian is AAA. I think they're AA. Baldur's Gate 3 is, I had the price up. Where's it gone? Baldur's Gate 3 is 50 quid.
Yep.
Kind of thing. So that's quite that's near AAA pricing tier, and that's given like thousands of people hours upon hours and hours of content, kind of thing. I'm like, but the thing is, Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't be the exception.
Nope.
That should
Nope.
be normal. Where's the fucking money going?
Well, that's the thing and that's why like I'm getting tired of like seeing CEOs saying, "Oh, gamers have to get used to paying more for games," and they're shoving out shitty, buggy products that are subpar.
Yeah.
And people always say,
Yeah.
"Oh, they like." For one, I'm glad that we have the capabilities to update our games, and that games are no longer stuck where if they're broken, that's tough shit. However, it's become a fucking crutch. It's become
It has been.
it's become a crutch of release it, we'll fix it later in post, and I'm getting fucking tired of it, quite frankly.
It's getting.
It is
It's,
getting-
we're running towards the second crash of the gaming industry. The first crash happened because cheap games were being thrown out, unbug fixed, and breaking, so people stopped buying games. E.T., thanks for that one. And now it's taking longer because they can update and fix them now, but we're still getting to the point where normal people who want to play video games are having to jump through hoops, pay money that they possibly don't have for new games that might not fucking work.
Yeah, I will definitely say, oh god, I went on oh dear, I went on to Dragon Age the Veilguard to get a rundown of how, like, what its status was in regards to, like, bugs and stuff like that. And I saw that there's the character creator in here. Oh fuck.
Oh no. Oh
Um,
no.
but-
Anyway.
Dragon Age Veilguard, as far as I know, is not that buggy in regards to release, and it didn't do as well as EA hoped. But as far as I know, it did all right. It did all right. And the motherfucking piece of shitting android himself, Andrew Wilson, had the fucking shitting galling nerve to go, oh, it should have been a live service. No, Andrew, you should have been marketing the bloody thing on more places than fucking whatever that website was that went like that should have been on. Its marketing should have been on more sites than just Game Informer. So when Game Informer went down, all of the exposés and all of the stuff that all the talking and the articles that they did about the companions and everything just fucking disappeared in one fell swoop. Kind of
Yep.
thing. Why did you do that? I understand they probably didn't think Game Informer was going to fail like instantly, but putting all of your eggs into one fucking basket is just such a stupid idea, and they just didn't market it at all outside. And I mean, of course, we've got the fucking chuds, but we're going to ignore the fucking chuds because I hate them and I don't want to, because they can go touch grass. But the thing is, like, he has the shitting galling nerve to be like, oh yeah, we shouldn't have changed it out of a live service thing. Like, no! If you would kept it as a live service model, that thing would have gone out to die. That would have died as fast as Concord.
Yep.
Like,
That would have
just-
died as fast as Suicide Squad.
I don't
yeah,
like.
I mean, even Marvel Rivals is free, and yet the US team still gets fucking fired. Like, what are we supposed to do anymore?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it's. Don't get me wrong. I'm someone who's like, I'm okay with like DLC. I've never been opposed to DLC and things like that. It's just like without, and I will say this about Outlaws, it was a bit galling about 2 months before release for had to have a trailer for the DLC coming out.
Yeah, that just feels rude.
Forgive me, actually, there wasn't a trailer. Actually, there have never been a trailer for it, but there was at least a video highlighting we'll be getting 2 DLC packs. You know, at least wait. I don't get, and people kind of miss them. DLC is basically content that would otherwise be cut, so I do respect that DLC has a place within the industry, and I get that it's an additional revenue stream. I'm just, you know, I don't like how we're constantly as a consumer asked to give more, and we're giving back less,
Yeah,
repeatedly.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah, I
also,
will also, we'll also quickly point out that Veilguard is 50 quid as well.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of back when Ark was still in early access and released the trailer and an entire new DLC while in early access.
Yes, I remember
I was
that.
annoyed back then.
yeah,
And-
at least Ark has already been in the early access for a while, and it had some player base, and it had people who would. But in case of game that has not been released yet, when you're showing that you're making DLCs, it's fucking arrogance. It's showing how arrogant those people are, and they're showing that, yeah, we're making a game. We're just assuming that absolutely everyone is gonna buy it, so we're gonna milk them even more for 5 different versions of the game that will make all kinds of ways of FOMO for everyone. We're gonna announce DLC right now because that's just extra hyping the players. Oh, it's so egregious just thinking about the money and about the financial benefits from releasing those games.
Frontier got slapped for that, and I think they're so right.
Yes.
They did get slapped for it because Planet
Yes.
Coaster, which, as you guys know, I bought Planet Coaster. I've been enjoying it. It came out. Now, was it a buggy mess? It definitely wasn't optimal. I wouldn't say there were problems. I'm never going to say there weren't problems with that game. And to their credit, the developers have pulled their finger out and have done some great job of updating the game over the course of several updates. The problem is, alongside the first big update came this DLC pack. And it kind of sent a very bad message to the community of hang on, you're focusing on DLC when you should be focusing on fixing the fucking game.
Yes.
And that is, I think, it's quite rightly they got slapped for it, and they said we're going to focus on free game content, which is good. I do think that maybe they've overcorrected because they need to have some kind of income, but I'm not opposed to this. I just think that this should have been left for a lot later, for when the game was in a good state.
I will say in regards to Frontier, they're very they like their DLC, so I think they can get away with giving free to some.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, this has not been offered free, but the idea is that since then we've had a couple of updates and there've been free rides they've added, and to do that, I will give them the credit they deserve. As someone they've been listening to the community, they've taken all the feedback on board, and all the feedback that we've given them, they've been responding to and actively working on. For example, there are some rides in the game, like the kiddie coaster. It's the one that kiddies go on. It's themed, so it has a dragon head on it. They have now removed the dragon elements, so it is now a generic kiddie coaster, but added the dragon elements in as asset pieces you can decorate on the rides. So
that is good.
So they're saying they're focusing on de-theming of more rides and also giving better actual physics in the water slides, which is what people complain about. I do think some of the community's complaints were overblown. I do think some were very valid, but the point is the community, they're listening to the community, and that's good. And I think that's a good sign. I just think that the game should have had more time in the oven, and also more. I think the game would have worked better as it did previously, which is as a what was it? No, what's the term when you release it on Steam? Early access game. I think it would have done them good to have an early access beta, see what people thought about it, and then refine it over time.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
but hey, God.
Yeah, I think there's one time where you can get away with DLC for an early access game, and it happened to one game that I have, and that's Coral Island. They did a DLC which gave you it gave you a cosmetic which didn't do anything, and it gives you cosmetic, a little scarecrow-y thing which had the same range as one of the mid-tier scarecrows that you could make, and a treasure chest that was also a mid-tier treasure chest. So you could get equivalent items. They just wouldn't look as fancy, and that was specifically for charity. It was only for a certain amount of time, but all proceeds from that DLC would go to a specific charity. I think it's one of the few times that you can kind of get away with it in an early access game.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the main issue that we have there is a two-term of scale and these problems which we're talking about. We're seeing companies constantly dial up the cost of their games, and we're not seeing the appropriate quality from that. And people might say, and they might say, "Oh, but we're having all these games look pretty." It's like your game can look. It doesn't look matter. Your game looks pretty if it runs like shit.
Yeah, I mean, let me see if I mean, I have put hundreds upon hundreds of hours in a pixel art game, and that's Stardew Valley. I paid 687 hours in a game that is pixel. Now don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that pixel art can't look beautiful.
No, of course.
And it is. But you can't deny to me that the amount of work that goes into pixel art is the same as stuff that goes into 3D modeling. Yes, the effort is probably very similar, but the time for 3D art is probably a lot more, and a lot more investing as well. Kind of thing. And I'm content with just pixel art. Some pixel art games are just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely phenomenal. And then you've got 3D games that look like shit. kind of thing.
Yep.
Like the era of brown really shows.
Regardless of the art style, you can have games that look gorgeous, that run gorgeous, that are really made with passion, with love. Like in
Mm.
Indiana Jones: The Golden Circle, great example
Oh
of a game that
yes.
was made with so much passion, so much love. You can see at every time, at every moment, including the fact that the devs all the time, whenever there's like point of light, they are trying to get those specific shadow and light moments that you got in the movies. They are trying their best to reflect everything they can so that the game is like an Indiana Jones movie. They do a really good job with that.
Yeah, I mean, we've had lots of fun with like Ghostbusters, and you
Mm.
can't look at that game and say that the art style it's not stylized,
Yeah,
kind of
Mm.
thing.
it's true.
That's not that's not like 40K, whatever the fuck, pristine graphics. It doesn't have to
Doesn't
be.
have to be. No.
It doesn't
I'm
have to be. Some of the
perfectly.
most charming games have like aesthetic. Like we were talking about Civ 6 earlier, weren't we, Burr? And how
Yeah.
charming. It doesn't have to be realistic. It's
Yeah.
so charming because it looks cartoony, and
Yes.
the map is formatted like one of those old medieval maps, like
Yes, it
Hear Me
has-
Dragons kind
it
of
has
thing.
the
And
Hear Me
it's
The-
just,
Dragons
the-
features, yes.
the term I will use is thus, which is a game that is meant to be realistic is bound by the technology of our current time. A game that has an art style is timeless.
yeah, and you definitely see it as well. Like people can probably argue like, oh well, Doom looks like shit then. But it isn't, because the way the monsters were sculpted, like because they were made in clay, and then
Okay.
they were and pictures were taken of all of their angles and then made into pixel art kind of thing. There's something so charming about how chunky they are, kind of thing. And you can see that in the modern Dooms as well. Like, yes, the Dooms are gorgeous. Like, they're really, really pretty. But at the same time, they've still got that stylization that just,
Mm.
that that
Yeah.
when you like, I mean, you look back at like the Doom of 2016, it still pops. It still really pops and looks amazing. And then there was like a Wolfenstein several years back that I don't remember. This was before like New Order. There was a Wolfenstein that happened. I think it was dealing with like the occult regarding the Nazis
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
Wolfenstein's always had like an occult vibe to it.
Yeah, but I remember, I think TB did an episode, did a WTF is episode on it, and it barely, like, I don't remember, like, I remember it existing, but that was it, kind of
Yeah,
thing. Like,
the 2009 Wolfenstein game just like doesn't get a look.
yeah,
It's
just
generic as
so,
fuck.
yeah, it's so visually boring, kind of thing. And I think partially to blame is the race for the graphic. The race for graphic supremacy,
Or the
because
pixels.
it's inflated video game budgets to the point of like obscene amounts. And for what? It's like, yeah, okay. Like I think we've reached our Moore's law. Well, the end of our Moore's law for video games. Like I'm sorry, we can't get any more realistic. Like unless we're gonna argue about how many like strands of hair are on a woman's face again. Like we're there. We are
Yeah.
there. And you can't go any further unless you want like real time people to like sweat or something. And that's like it's pointless. Why? Why
Yeah.
are we dedicating programming time to this? Well, we could be doing something like, I don't know, figuring out what the main hook of your game is.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, one of the main problems with the 2009 Wolfenstein was just how generic and Call of Duty it looked. Because it's like
Yeah.
everything at that point was brown with brick buildings and concrete. And it didn't matter that it had the occult and a lightning gun in the game. Everything else was just boring as shit.
Yeah, the fact that I remember it as a Wolfenstein game and it existed is about
That's
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
yeah, that is about it.
The key thing I think we're walking away with on this whole endeavor is a quite simple kind of realistic idea that it's ridiculous that companies are asking us to pay more when we are getting constantly less and less quality in our products. And I think
Yeah,
it's go on.
Yeah, and I will say one thing we do have to acknowledge is we don't have the money now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we do have like if we do have the money to pay for like luxuries and like luxury items and entertainment, but the problem is with prices of everything else going up, like food, like mortgages, like whatever. Eventually, we have to choose what we have to spend our money on, and if video games keep going up and up and up in price but delivering less and less and less, people are just going to be like, well, what's the fucking point? I might as well just wait for a sale. I mean, most people do nowadays.
Yeah.
And I don't
And
think
that's what's killing the industry, I think.
yeah, I don't think publishers and the higher ups understand that if you price something too high, eventually eventually you shoot demand in the knee, and people just either go, I'll wait for a sale or I'll pirate it, and then you don't get
If-
anything at all.
Yes, like I'm looking at any game released now, and if it's if it's above £50, I'm sitting there thinking, do I really need this game?
Mhm.
Yeah, because we've also got loads of
Backlog.
backlogs.
Yeah,
'Cause
we've all got
people-
backlogs. We've all got games we can buy for super cheap if you need
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, people are just like, I will say, Civ 7 has been the first game for a very long time that's been AAA price that I've pre-ordered, and I got my ass bitten for it. So for me, it's just like, well, okay. So and as Burr said earlier, I was playing Civ 7. I got bored, and I was like, I still want the Civ fix. So I went back to Civ 6.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the new WWE game, I'm not getting that because that is going in the direction of monetization. I'm not happy about. And that's the thing is, I feel like we're also at a stage where companies do ask them like the similar question. You remember back in the day when I said that back in the day games were moving to 3D and they should have asked, should they have moved to 3D? Maybe
Yes.
game companies should now be asking, should we make this a live service game? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
because not
I mean-
everything suits a live service model.
Yeah, exactly.
is the live service is your game built with the idea of enjoyment into the live service model? No, don't bother.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all saw Concord fall on its ass. Like, it's a laughing stock. Concord is
Yeah.
a laughing stock now. It's like
It's the
shriveled
punchline.
corpse. Yeah, its shriveled corpse is being paraded around by the chuds, going, "Oh, look at this woke game that immediately failed," kind of thing. Like, when it's not, there's nothing to do. The reason why it failed had nothing to do with the fact it's like woke.
Yeah.
It had everything to do with the fact that it was a live service game in development hell for so long, and it missed all the
What was the
trends.
price tag on it?
Full.
It was the full whack, yeah.
full whack.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. How much, if we were to buy it right now, is Helldivers 2, for example?
I think that's
Don't-
probably. I don't know
Don't
actually.
know.
Helldivers 2 is £35.
Well, there you go.
So well below normal, like, current rates for a AAA game. This is a Sony published game.
Yeah.
And as much as Sony fucked up with Helldivers and all these stupid demands they've been making of that community,
Which
you still
some
can't
is
play
not
it in the
like-
Vatican, by the way. The Pope
no.
can't Helldive.
Oh.
You
Well,
may
he's in
be for-
hospital. He's in hospital right now, so
Oh,
he can't
yeah,
help
yeah.
even if he wanted to.
No, but if he wanted to, the Pope, the leader of the church, can't Helldive. And that
Ah,
sounds fundamentally wrong to me.
It
But the
is,
fact that
yeah.
that Sony's fucked up on all that, but the player base and the actual game itself, despite it being a live service, constant changes, constant new stuff, is doing fine because there's no FOMO involved. The early battle passes, if you can want to call them battle passes, the early stuff is still there if you want to buy them and work on them. The new stuff is here to purchase
Oh,
and
that's
work on.
really cool.
that's
And you can
really
get
good.
All of it.
I would love to see that in more games. Actually,
I would
love
love to see
stuff
that.
like Fortnite. Honestly,
Yeah.
Yep,
like
absolutely.
they just have a
Pick
list
whichever
of
battle-
previous,
you know-
like just have a list of previous like battle passes, buy into it, and
Yeah.
then just work
Yeah.
on it as normal.
And you buy the in-game battle passes with money you make from playing the game. So if you
Also-
play enough, you're not paying anything.
Oh
Also,
wow!
Speaking of Fortnite, I've just seen on Reddit that there are Mortal Kombat skins in Fortnite, and you all have to hold me so
Yep.
that I don't
What?
get into Fortnite.
Yeah, they're adding Mortal Kombat characters to Fortnite.
Oh god!
Yeah.
Maybe we can Fortnite together, but
But yeah,
Yay, Gambit and Sub-Zero!
that is our thoughts on the cost of value of video games. The idea is video game costs are right now are already high, and we're already getting a subpar products already. Maybe we should short that shit out before we think about raising them again.
Yeah,
And that's the thing.
I will like. I know this is at the very end. I'm so sorry, El, but I will just point out Nintendo games. They've always been full priced, but that's been fine
Because
you know with a Nintendo product you're
you're
getting
getting value.
fucking quality.
Yeah.
Like, You've
That's
never,
the fact that-
like, I've never had a point where I've gotten a Nintendo game and I've thought, well, this is a bunch of crap
Absolutely
kind
not.
of thing. Like,
Yeah.
you can trust them for that. And I mean, I hate it that that they don't have sales kind of thing and the price never goes down. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, okay, but I'm getting quality.
Lenny?
Nintendo as a company is still crappy, but they are making sure
They're a
that
corporation at the end of the day.
Lenny?
But yeah,
Oh, okay. No, go on.
I'm hoping and praying that the other gaming individuals on this planet will see us and others like us right now as the front runners in saying, fuck you, we're not paying that shit.
Yeah, no,
Now,
I mean, you can charge me £100 if you want. I've got a whole fucking backlog.
I will say, now people say, aren't you going to be in critical state? Because I said at the top of the show that I'd buy GTA 6 for £100. People say, aren't you being a little bit critical? No. And that's because I don't mind parting with a good amount of money if I know the product is value for money. And I know that if by buying GTA 6, I'm getting value for money.
Yeah, like high price Nintendo games are high price, and yeah, it fucking stings, but you know you're getting your money's worth for that kind of thing. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is £50, and like you get more than like you get like hours upon hours of content for
Yeah.
that for £50.
I mean,
Like,
I've already finished one playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm still in Act
and-
1.
Yeah, I'm currently on 150
Yeah, but
hours
what's
playtime.
Oh God, what's mine? Let me embarrass myself. I have a playtime of 101 hours, and I'm still in Act 1.
To the angry man that just posted in the chat, MGS Delta is an exception because it's a fucking remake, as we've talked about already.
Hey, babe, it's a quality product. How would you know it's not out yet?
Well,
Yeah,
and that we don't know. It could be a bug and mess. But that's the thing is, you know, with all respect, I don't want a game that's 20 years old that's being repackaged and resold with a shiny coat of paint that costs me the same as a full price game. It should be on a budget cost. Literally, don't do this to me, Konami. Yeah, that's what I'm going to wrap this up with this conversation because we are over time and we need to talk about Game Blast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing that happened.
Very
You
quick.
raised a bunch of money.
We raised over £5,000 for charity over the weekend. As you can see above there. We started off with Womble Blast, as we called it for the multi blast things. I'll be focusing on mainly what I'm doing because I have access to my content. So it was fun playing Red Dead Redemption with you all, even if it did mean I get shot in the head by a few times by Lemming.
I mean, if it devolves into a fight, I'm going to be as far away from everyone as possible and pop you in the head when I can.
With drawn and block rifle, true. But then I'm going to be the one who's sneaking up on people. So
Yeah, with dynamite. That happened to me.
That sounds like proper eBack behavior.
To be
gremlin
fair,
behavior.
you deserved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I was gonna say he's taking lessons from me, but no, that's all eBack. I can't claim anything to
You've
that.
seen Desperados, so that was a fun endeavor from myself. I really enjoyed that. The one I this I really enjoyed was our second multi-blast, which is Silly Voices does Brad Munchausen, and that image itself should speak volumes with like the costumes we had people in, very much so. That was
It was a very entertaining show.
thank you very
It was a
much.
great show.
I do think if I was to have a prize for best costume, definitely Lewis takes it with the fez
Yes.
and the and the cape. Yes, absolutely.
I was
Isn't
watching
that his
your
old-
show.
I was gonna say, isn't that his old like Magicka
Yes.
thing?
Yes.
I was watching and going, "This is highly entertaining." I don't know the rules, but this is highly entertaining.
I mean, I do explain the rules at the beginning, so you probably missed that
Oh
part.
yeah, I couldn't understand a damn thing.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, that was entertaining. Great time. Yeah, what more can I say other than that was great to be with the cast. They all did a great job of improv in that show, which is great. I did play The Outer Worlds, as you guys can see here, which I talked about earlier. You know, I probably will return to it. It's not big on my... I liked it. It's just it's competing in a big market for me.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Um,
also out of all of those games that you've played, I think I would prefer if you played Desperado.
I would prefer to play Desperados, quite frankly. So there was that.
Oh,
uh,
Pavati that's your companion in that
yes, Pavati, because
one. Oh,
she's-
she's she's an asexual character.
hey, didn't know
Yeah,
that.
she's one of the few canonically asexual characters in video games, which is nice. That's
Ah.
why I always smile when I see her.
Representation for the win.
Cheers to all of our ace friends out there.
But of
Indeed.
course, a lot of things we should all be familiar with happened over the weekend, which of course was the office party of Dale and Dawson.
Oh my God, so
that occurred. It's always something to Dawson. By that point, you can see here that we reached our goal of 5,000. By that point, we're up to £5,302. £5,302. Yeah, that was certainly an entertaining thing. There was a bit of friction in there when it came to my assessment of the playing of the game. I'm not sure if, but
It's me as a janitor.
but yeah. Besides that, it was a fun experience.
Yeah,
I got fired immediately.
I
So did I.
I love how I managed to slip under the radar in that final game. Like
Mm.
I was just like I got Maddie eaten out of the palm of my hand. I was just like, I wouldn't be me. I've never done anything wrong in my life. I've been just like the
Yeah.
entire time and set the bit on fire.
Mm.
I
And
hope
then-
that gremlin laugh came through on mic.
And then, of course, you had Shadows of Doubt, which was what I finished doing. This is actually my footage now of Shadows of Doubt, which I actually, it was mostly dice imp with me because a lot of people left because, you know, it would by this point we were getting to like 11 o'clock at night, and I actually had Divot
so
also join me as well. It was fascinating to kind of play through it. Now, I will say, although I did say the game doesn't really leave you a lot of direction, there is always something to investigate for the person. Like, you can always just check back at their profile and think, oh, I've not looked at their workplace. Oh, I've not looked at this, and think about where to go from there. So I think you can always at least not stumble your way back into your lead, as it were.
I wanted to refine my assessment when I said that it reminded me a lot of games like Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective. Because that game also gives you a lot and lots of freedom. It doesn't tell you what to do. It just wants you to bring results.
Mm.
But in the Consulting Detective, if you want to, you can play optimally or suboptimally. Because there's like Sherlock says, yeah, I solved it with this many moves, and how many did you take? And in this one, you only have to face the consequences. Like if you repeatedly return to the place of the crime, eventually the police will start chasing you all the time.
Yeah.
But other than that, you can do whatever you want, how many times you want.
Yeah, and I think also the idea of its board system, the way you can like have that like typical pin board with
That
Wars
was
is a
cool,
great system.
yeah.
And I saw this on a video, one of the videos where I think it was the Game Maker's Toolkit, where they were talking about different detective games and the way that there are different kind of like levels of detective games. The idea that there's the Ace Attorney games where there's a set outcome and it's about the discovery of the crime and not about the actual crime itself. Whereas this is more about you are literally having to go through everything yourself. There's no kind of hand holding. It's a very kind of surface level experience, whereas some are a bit more curated. And yeah, I think it's very interesting how that you get different experience, because I'm someone who I love detective games, but unfortunately pulling off a great detective game is very difficult because you are only as smart as yourself.
Yes.
And that is the problem, is if the person committing the crime is smarter than you, you're not going to pull that off.
Yeah, no. I have heard from a lot of places that Shadows of Doubt is probably the closest to like a proper detective game that we've gotten in a long while, kind of thing. Just because it's so freeform.
Absolutely. And the fact that it's set in this kind of dystopian world as well, good bit of set dressing there as well. And again, I love this pinball mechanic. I think it takes a little to get used to, but I do love it.
Yeah, I will also say I will give it credit. I don't usually like voxel. I don't usually like the voxel aesthetic. It always looks a little bit. I can't describe it, but it looks a bit messy. It looks a bit messy to me. But I think it really works for Shadows of Doubt in a way I can't really express. But I like it. I like it. It's good.
Well, the feedback I have with that is it's so exaggerated. It means that when you get a photo of someone, you can very easily recognize them.
Yes.
And which I think is also very important for a game where you're relying on what people look like. So I will say that. Yeah, I was very impressed with this. I'll probably be pulling out again at some point in the future. But the real winner of the weekend, as I mentioned before, is Desperados. That's the game I was almost sad when I had to finish that evening, because I really enjoyed the very puzzle like gameplay. And you know what I mean, I'm not one who likes repeat games, but only if the game isn't built around repeating things. Whereas this is very. Would you say that it is basically a puzzle game?
I would absolutely say it's a puzzle game. You encounter a puzzle because you encounter a placement of enemies that you want to either sneak around or eliminate or listen, like eavesdrop on, and you have to figure out where to go, at which point you attack them, at which point you sneak out. You have to sometimes very meticulously plan every moment up to the millisecond, and then execute, and you feel so great. It's such a satisfying feeling when you do execute a plan and it works like you intended.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely
a puzzle game.
Yep. Also, unlike the original games where they give you no indication of where your sound travels, this actually gives you a visual indication of that, which is nice because Lord, did it annoy me in Desperados the other day when I was running on a boardwalk and enemies were hearing me because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm walking on wood and that's making noise, and you guys can hear that seriously. But yeah, oh well. So yeah, all in all, that's in the end we end up raising a not insignificant amount. I'm just going to grab the full amount here from Tiltify, which I believe it's even still open, so people can still donate if they wish to.
For special effect.
For special effect, raising money for disabled gamers.
Right
Yeah.
What's that?
I have a kitty cam.
Ah.
Babies.
Yeah, babies.
I think my kitty has been put away for the night.
My babies both came for snacks.
So we are sitting at £5,490.
Nice.
That means we are £10 away from completing Super Mario 64. So if that stays open,
it is a Mario Party.
No, it's a
party like a Mario Party in.
What I might do.
I've killed this joke. I'm sorry.
What I might do is if this Friday it rolls around and it's not back, if not to full 5,500, I'll throw a tenner in there. So.
Well, I did get.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Oh, I get paid. I get paid this Friday.
If
so
you want something,
I got paid today.
Yeah. Yay.
Yay!
I'm still poor
Congrats.
because of the kitchen renovation.
That's fine. eBack is broke as well, so it's fine.
We're all broke in our
We're all
own
broke.
ways.
Yeah.
Oh, we also didn't touch on this. We'll probably touch on the next episode because we can finally gonna get. I probably want to interview people and find out how it's been for them. Fuck you, Twitch, and your whole thing.
Oh god,
Yes,
yeah.
oh, fuck you, Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching. Xandros has been posting on Blue Sky, and he's been lamenting it as well. So I have not. There has not been. There's been like only a couple of people which not affected in my friend group, and that's probably Lemming because he doesn't save VODs, and me because I don't have enough mods to cross that 100 hours mark. Everybody else I know has been affected some way.
Yeah. Even I was on the edge because I had 109 hours of votes.
Gee, I wonder what percentage of that is. Which, if it's above 0.5%, I'd be shocked.
I think,
Yeah, but
I think the
somebody.
real assessment is 0.5 is not impacted.
Yeah, like because somebody pointed out that like even if it's just 0.5% of people of the Twitch viewer base of the user base, my apologies, that's 37,000 people. That's not an insignificant wedge of people.
We'll probably talk about that. We'll probably pin that thing for next time so we can, because by then we would have been halfway through the period which they've allowed, and we can kind of talk to people and see how they've been finding it. It'd be interesting to get kind of feedback on that. But yeah, so we're watching out because a lot of people will probably be moving over to YouTube for at least their archives. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Because
People.
that's what we need, more monopolies.
Yeah, congratulations, Twitch. That was a great idea, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, like all of the speedrunners are going, well, why don't I just stream on YouTube now?
Only themselves to blame is what I say, and by that I mean Twitch, not the speedrunners.
Yeah, the speedrunners didn't know this was coming.
Yeah. And with that, we're gonna end. We're gonna. Are you knighting the camera with a wrench?
No, he's moving it with his wrench.
Yeah, but it's just a wrench is great for adjusting everything, like attitudes.
I was gonna say that one.
There are plenty of people I'd love to whack over there with a wrench. But yes,
Yeah,
I need a wrench.
Trust me, yeah.
you and me both.
we're gonna finish it there because our pal Lemming needs to get to bed, and we've
Yes.
kind of
Damn
exhausted
you,
our topic.
early morning starts.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I am with my parents again, so I can't be
Oh,
too
yes.
too
Oh,
loud
yes.
too late at night now.
And
At
I need.
least my father kill me where I stand.
That is fair. But no, I'm going to go and also relax as well, and probably attend to more of my videos because I'm transferring those across myself. Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
This has been
We
the
know how
comment.
to live.
We know how to live. This has been the Common Minutes podcast. I want to thank anyone who's been watching us live, or those that watched the VOD afterwards. We do appreciate you.
On
And we
YouTube. Hi.
and on YouTube as well. Well, hopefully by the time, probably in a year's time once everything's all uploaded, sure. But yes. We also welcome our new YouTube viewers as well, which we appreciate. Stick around, watch the episodes, and also check out all the various content that we perform. And we'll see you all next time, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Uh,
Who's
all
doing
I've got on my
anything?
dashboard is
Ah.
Jesse, and I think he doesn't need the raid.